For Annenberg Media Sports, I'm Connor McGlynn, joined alongside by former USC All-American running back and college football Hall of Famer Sam Cunningham. Sam, thanks a lot for joining me tonight.
Connor, thank you for having me. It's a pleasure, and hope we can make something happen here.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, let's get right into it then.
Okay.
USC and Alabama playing Saturday in a
Right.
matchup that you probably know better than almost anybody there is. And let's go back to 1970 real
Okay.
quick. So 1970, you're going in, sophomore, your first game ever playing college.
Right.
And you're part of this team, the first fully integrated team to play not only in the South, but in Tuscaloosa of all places.
No, we actually played in Birmingham at Legion Field.
Oh, yeah. All right,
We
then.
were the first integrated team to play in Legion Field.
Legion Field.
And because back then they played part of their games in Legion Field and part of them in Tuscaloosa. Now I
Okay.
think they play all of them in Tuscaloosa.
Well, there we
Yeah.
go. Starting off strong then.
There we go.
So you're getting into this game,
Okay.
first game. Everyone has their first game jitters. Even if you're a vet at this point, you
True.
get pregame jitters.
True.
But you're part of this historic, maybe you don't know it at the time, but you're part of this team that eventually is going to have a legacy attached to it. What are you feeling going into this game?
Don't trip over my own feet, pretty much. Just kind of, I started on special teams, but I didn't start on offense. I was a backup fullback behind Charlie Evans, but I played kickoff return and kickoff coverage, and I don't remember if I played punt team, but I played field goal and PAT. So basically, I knew that if I got an opportunity to play, I didn't want to fumble, miss a block. I didn't think they were going to throw me any passes. But I just wanted to just do well my first game to get an opportunity to play again the following week. So pretty simple, nothing over the top complicated. I didn't go and say, well, I want to score 2 touchdowns, 135 yards on 12 carries. No, none of that was in the process. It was pretty simple, and I did get the opportunity to play, and I tried to execute whatever little plan I had was to do what I did well. So.
Well, that's the thing. You weren't only just playing in your first game, you became a star in your first game. Your teammates kind of came into the game knowing the significance on a broader scale that this is more than football. You didn't
Some
seem
did.
to have that approach. When did you realize that game meant more than just a game?
From being around people who witnessed it or had heard about it and who had grown up in that area, and I listened to, and these are black people, African American people, fans and whatnot, and they hearing the excitement in their voice and seeing the sparkle in their eye of how that night black athletes or black football players were validated as being able to play with the status quo, which was the all-white football players in those powerful universities that they could not go to. And then I realized to a certain extent that we did something special, but I didn't dwell on it that much either. I just kind of so it really has been over the course of the 40-something years that since it happened that I really understand and have a sense of understanding, I should say, of what happened that evening.
So it was 46 years ago. What was your reception like from the audience and the crowds of people there, both black and white, when you guys were in town for that weekend?
Well, we kind of rode through. I mean, they had bands and cheerleaders and politicians and everybody meet us at the airport, but they were all white. So, that was, what it was, a lot of hoopla. And then we rode our buses to our hotel, but we went through a black community. And those fans or people, I don't know if they were fans or not, but they had a sense of who and what these 2 buses were. And they were on the porches waving and, knowing that there were black football players, black athletes on those buses that were in town to play, their beloved University of Alabama Tide. So, what I found out though is that other road trips were not like that. You kind of just roll into town, get off the plane, get on the bus. You might have a police escort, and you go to your hotel. Wasn't anybody giving speeches, anybody playing music. So it was vastly different from any other game other than, say, like a Rose Bowl or something, because those are special, you know what I mean? And a lot of things go on. So, that was it. I mean, the contrast from us landing and being at the airport to going through the city, going to our hotel was vastly, different.
Well, that's quite a way to start your college career. And there's the famous quote that Sam Cunningham did more to integrate the South in 60 minutes than Martin Luther King did in 20 years. So obviously that's a bit of an overstatement, but when you hear that type of a statement, how does that make you feel?
Well, it makes me feel like we did something special, and I say we because it was a team effort. It wasn't Sam Cunningham. I didn't ride the plane by myself. I didn't get on the bus by myself. I didn't run out the locker room by myself. But we did something special as a team, and of course, I don't compare anything that I did to what Dr. King did. Because he was, for the good of everybody, not just for black folks. But to be a part of something as special as what we did that evening is special. I have a younger brother who's 12 years younger than me, and because of that evening, if he had wanted to go to one of those major universities in the South and play, he would be able to because of that game. So, that's also a little part of what made me realize what we did, because my two younger brothers could have benefited from that football game.
You're going to be the honorary team captain for USC.
Right.
As important as it is to support them at the games, you were at their practice the other day. You talked to the team.
Mm-hmm.
And I talked to Dory Jackson today and asked him kind of about that. And he explained that he has a close relationship with you because of your nephew and things like that.
Yeah, I see one, I see the other.
So, exactly.
Yeah.
So what did you tell the team, and what is your connection with them still?
Well, I just explained to them that as big as this game is, it's just one game. So don't let it overwhelm you. Don't let it, all the hoopla about, what happened 46 years ago is good, and we're celebrating all that, and I played in it, and my teammates played in it, and I had an important role in it, but we had to line up and play football, and we had to play as a team, and that more than anything helped us be successful that night. And the same principles that we had then, they have to have now. It hasn't changed. It's no different now than it was. It's just a different kind of game, but the same principles about how you go about doing your job is the same. And everybody needs to do what they're supposed to do, and if everybody does it and it does it in a manner that sinks, you'll be okay. And they have a lot of talent. They have a great coaching staff. I told them, all the people in the room, I said, everybody in this room is important. The guy that runs the monitor, the trainers, the coaches, the nutrition girl over there that hooks them up, everybody's important. And at the end of the day, when you win the Pac-12 championship, when you go on into the whatever name they have it for the national championship, everybody is to be proud and thankful because everybody had a hand in it. So for me, just do your job. And I stress that the leadership on the team is important because, teams have a tendency to kind of get a little skittish every now and then, or if you don't win the way you think you're supposed to win, or you just don't play well, it gets a little bit skittish, but the leaders have to keep everybody on point and everybody focused because they know that they can play. they know we have talent, we have great coaches, so we can play. It's just sometimes it gets a little bit sideways, and you got to be able to right the ship and bring it back.
Well, come Saturday, obviously the game at AT&T Stadium, Jerry World, there's going to be a whole lot of hoopla surrounding it.
Yeah.
But appreciate you joining me tonight, Sam.
Connor, thank you very much for having me.
Yeah, so
Pleasure. Alongside
Sam Cunningham, I'm Connor McGlynn. Make sure to follow us along on Facebook and Twitter at Annenberg Media for updates and videos from throughout the weekend and this weekend's game.